So yesterday we have discussed about gastrulation, that is the formation of 3 germ layers, in which I have told you that gastrulation is the formation of 3 germ layers, ectoderm, mesoderm and endoderm, and how this development takes place. So let's see the fate of germ layers. Fate means the part from which means the which layer will form which future part of the fetus. Like you know, जैसे मैंने आपको बताया था कि ये तीनों लेयर्स जो होती हैं इनकी इनवेजिनेशंस होती हैं और इससे डिफरेंट बॉडी पार्ट्स जो हैं वो डिसाइड होते हैं. सो देयर आर सो मैनी गिवन इन योर बुक. हियर आई एम जस्ट गिविंग यू 2-3 एग्जांपल्स, और इफ़ यू वांट टू discuss in detail, if you want to learn in detail, then you can look at into your book. So ectoderm, always nervous system originates from ectoderm. Nervous tissue originates from ectoderm. Epidermis, cornea, external ear, pituitary gland, mammary gland, all these originate from ectoderm. Mesoderm, connective tissue, heart, blood vessels, notochord, reproductive system, they all originate from mesoderm. Endoderm, mostly epithelium will form from endoderm. Epithelium of mouth parts, larynx, prostate gland, thyroid gland, lungs, trachea, all the parts of respiratory tract. So all these are the epithelium of all these structure are obtained from endoderm. So this is the fate of germ layers. And if we'll talk about the board exams, there is no chance of any question from this topic, but if you are preparing for the competitive exams, then it is very important topic. You have to learn each and every part of the body, means which is obtaining from which part. So let's take up the next topic. So let's see the next part, that is fetal membranes. As we know, after development of the germ layers and when the fate is decided, further development how it takes place. Now till this structure the embryo was there. Now after formation of the fetal membranes, the embryo will be converted into fetus. Let's see here. So this is the structure we have already discussed, but if you will see the central part which is formed by invagination of the ectoderm, endoderm and mesoderm. So due to this invagination, the first structure which are formed is the digestive tract. So it is in the center, a sac-like structure which is formed, which is called primitive digestive tract, and other organs will be formed later. Due to the invagination of the membranes which are forming the amnion and chorion, which we have already discussed, 2 more membranes will be formed in the fetus. One is allantois and one is yolk sac. So these 4 fetal membranes are chorion, amnion, allantois and yolk sac. Chorion we have already discussed. The function of chorion is to surround the embryo to protect it. So this is the chorion, और इसने embryo को protect किया हुआ है इसके बाहर एक covering बना के. Amnion, you already know that the inner covering is the amnion, and it plays a very important function because it encloses the cavity called amniotic cavity, which contains the fluid called amniotic fluid, and this fluid will help to protect the growing embryo or developing fetus from any kind of injury or shock. The next 2 is allantois and yolk sac. So this one is allantois and this one is yolk sac, which is formed by invaginations. Allantois will help to furnish the blood vessels in the placenta. So here I have shown you this structure called placenta. As the further development takes place, the placenta formation will start. So this placenta is actually a tissue, a common tissue between the fetus and the mother. We will discuss the structure of placenta and its function in detail later. But its function of allantois is to furnish the blood vessels in placenta. क्योंकि placenta एक टिश्यू है जो कि मदर और फीटस में कनेक्शन बना के रखेगा थ्रू आउट द प्रेगनेंसी, लेकिन इसके अंदर ब्लड वेसल्स होना ज़रूरी है जिसकी वजह से वो कोई भी मटेरियल एक्सचेंज कर सकते हैं. तो ये ब्लड वेसल्स कौन फॉर्म कर रहा है? allantois. नेक्स्ट इज द यॉक सैक. यॉक सैक जो है उसका स्टार्टिंग में फंक्शन होता है टू फर्निश फॉर द ब्लड सेल्स फॉर्मेशन. तो जो एम्ब्रियो के अंदर ब्लड सेल फॉर्मेशन होती है वो यॉक सैक की वजह से होती है. उसके बाद यॉक सैक का कोई फंक्शन नहीं है, ह्यूमन में ये कम्प्लीटली नॉन फंक्शनल है. So these are the 4 fetal membranes and these are the functions of this membrane, and next we will take up with the placenta. What is placenta and what is its function? So let's see an important part which is called placenta. as we have discussed about the fetal development, the layers which will cover the fetus, and now we will see what is the connection between mother and the fetus which will help the fetus to get nourishment or nutrition from the mother. As at the later stage of the pregnancy, the nutrition required by the fetus will be more as compared to the earlier stages, and also the proper functioning of the fetus will be started, and it will also secrete waste products which will be also have to be removed from the fetus, and so all this will be done by a structure which is called placenta. Placenta is actually a tissue, or you can say an intimate connection between fetus and uterine wall of the mother for exchange of gases. Means it is a kind of tissue which has two parts, maternal part and fetal part. Maternal part is the tissue which is present in the uterus of the mother, and fetal part is provided by the chorion of the fetus. Okay, do you know the chorion? That is why the placental development, the placenta of human is called chorionic placenta. Okay, so this placenta plays very much important role. First, let me show you the human fetus within the uterus showing the placenta. So here you can see the tissue of placenta is present in such a way so that it can form so many branch like structures, and these branch like structures are actually originated from the chorion of the fetus, and these are called chorionic villi. And why there are so many infoldings? Because to increase the surface area so that maximum connection will be there between mother and the fetus for maximum exchange of materials. So is it clear? जो fetus का portion है that is provided by the chorion, and the mother's uterus will provide the endometrium of the mother will provide the will form the part of the placenta. तो जो chorion है, it will be present in the form of a branch structure which is called chorionic villi to increase the surface area to have maximum connection between fetus and mother. Okay, so this is the arrangement of the fetus in the mother's womb. So here we can see the different layers. This is the uterus, the endometrium, and the outer layer is the amnion, which we have already discussed, and inner to amnion, this one is the amnion, this one is the amnion, and just inner to amnion is the cavity. This is amnion, and inside the amnion is the cavity enclosed which is filled with the fluid which is called amniotic fluid, and just outer to the amnion is the layer which is called chorion, which will form the chorionic villi, which will form the part of the placenta. And this is the fetus inside. And what else? And this connection, here you can see the connection between the this is the structure where the fetus will be attached to the uterus. Okay, so this is all about the internal the arrangement of fetus in the mother's womb to show the placenta. Now let's see the functions of placenta. First function is to provide nutrition, very important function. As we know, it is a connection between mother and fetus. So whatever food which is taken up by the mother, the nutrients which is released in the mother's body will be provided to the fetus through placenta. Okay. Next is excretion. As I told you, as the fetus will start taking up nutrition, it will start respiration, it will start releasing waste material, and the waste which is secreted by the fetus will be taken over into the mother's body for further releasing outside the body by the प्लेसेंटा. ठीक है, तो जो भी न्यूट्रिएंट्स मदर ले रही है वो फीटस में जाएंगे प्लेसेंटा के थ्रू, जो भी वेस्ट फीटस प्रोड्यूस कर रहा है वो मदर के थ्रू प्लेसेंटा के थ्रू मदर में जाएंगे फॉर रिमूविंग देम आउट ऑफ द बॉडी. नेक्स्ट इज एक्सचेंज ऑफ गैसेज. यू नो, oxygen and carbon dioxide, there is no other source of oxygen to the air for the fetus, so fetus is taking up the oxygen from the mother's blood through placenta, because placental tissue will have the blood supply also sharing between both fetus and mother. So from the blood they will take up oxygen and release carbon dioxide back to the mother's body through placenta. Next is release of hormones, very important. What kind of hormones are released by placenta? Because whatever structures which were present before, the development of placenta, now they will be gone off, and now the placenta will take over their functions. Now let's see what hormones are released here. Estrogen and progesterone, which were earlier secreted by corpus luteum, they will be taken over by placenta. तो ये जो दोनों hormones corpus luteum secrete कर रहा था, अब वो secrete नहीं करेगा, वो खत्म हो चुका है. It will be done by placenta. Next is HCG hormone. HCG hormone कौन produce कर रहा था? Trophoblast layer. तो ट्रोफोब्लास्ट लेयर भी अब नहीं है, तो इट विल बी टेकन ओवर बाय प्लेसेंटा, दैट इज ह्यूमन कोरियोनिक गोनाडोट्रोफिन हार्मोन विच विल मेंटेन द सिक्रेशन ऑफ प्रोजेस्टेरॉन. क्योंकि एचसीजी रहेगा तभी प्रोजेस्टेरॉन रिलीज होगा, प्रोजेस्टेरॉन होगा तभी एंडोमेट्रियम मेंटेन रहेगी और तभी जो है फीटस को नरिशमेंट मिलता रहेगा. नेक्स्ट इज HPL. नाउ दिस हार्मोन इज कॉल्ड HCS. अब इस हार्मोन को HCS बोलते हैं, पहले इसको HPL बोलते थे. आपकी NCERT बुक में HPL है, बट नाउ इट्स न्यू नेम इज HCS. दैट इज ह्यूमन कोरियोनिक सोमैटोमेमोट्रॉफिक हार्मोन. ह्यूमन कोरियोनिक सोमैटोमेमोट्रॉफिन हार्मोन. Previously it was called human placental lactogen. Why the name lactogen or memotrophin is included? Because it will help in the development of mammary gland during pregnancy. तो प्रेगनेंसी के टाइम पे मेमरी ग्लैंड्स की भी डेवलपमेंट होती है, दैट इज बिकॉज ऑफ दिस HCS और HPL हार्मोन, बोथ आर करेक्ट. नेक्स्ट इज रिलैक्सिन हार्मोन. रिलैक्सिन हार्मोन इट विल बी रिक्वायर्ड एट द टाइम ऑफ पैचुरेशन, विच इज ऑल्सो कॉल्ड बर्थ ऑफ द बेबी, एक्ट ऑफ बर्थ and or delivery. At this time the relaxin hormone will be required to relax the muscles of the pubic area from where the birth will takes place. When we will study lactation and parturition, then you will be able to understand the function of relaxin there. So this is all about the placenta, its function and the structure. Hello students, how are you? So let's start with today's biology class of class 12. In the last video we have discussed about the process of the fetal development, means what will be the membranes around the fetus and what is the placenta, what is the role of placenta. So we have discussed everything about the development of the fetus, means what part, means which layer will form which organ. So you know that gestation period in human beings is 9 months. So after completion of 9 months the fetus will be completely grown, and after its growth now the time is for parturition. Parturition is what? The act of expelling the fully grown young one from the mother's uterus. So parturition is actually, in the common word you can say, the delivery of the baby. Now it is considered as a young one because now it is a fully grown young one and it has to be expelled out from the mother's uterus. So this act is called parturition. Okay, so this process is actually a neuroendocrine act, means the endocrine glands, they will also help to release the hormones as well as the nervous system. So it is a neuroendocrine act. So basically it includes two hormones, oxytocin and relaxin. As I already shared with you the functions of placenta, in which we have discussed it will release oxytocin as well as relaxin, as well as the nervous system, the pituitary gland will also play a role in the secretion of this hormone. So when this oxytocin is released, it is called birth hormone. So its function is to cause the vigorous contractions of the uterine muscles, because you know that the parturition will be expelling of the baby from the mother's uterus and the baby will passed out from the uterus through the vagina. Okay, तो जो क्या होता है, मसल्स, जो यूट्रस की मसल्स हैं उनकी विग्रस कॉन्ट्रैक्शंस होती हैं, जिसकी वजह से जो है बेबी को एक पुश मिलता है, सो दैट द बेबी कैन कम्स आउट थ्रू द वेजाइना ऑफ द मदर. ओके, so this contractions are done by oxytocin hormone. Okay, when this hormone is released in the body in a sufficient amount, then the labor pain will start, which is actually the contraction of uterine muscles. And this labor pain, it will be starting with the light contractions of the muscles, but as the amount of oxytocin, more and more oxytocin will be released, these contractions will become vigorous. ठीक है, तो ऑक्सीटोसिन का अमाउंट जैसे जैसे बढ़ता जाएगा तो ये यूट्राइन कॉन्ट्रैक्शंस जो हैं वो थोड़े कम से ज्यादा बढ़ती जाएंगी. ओके, बिकॉज इट इज एक्चुअली इट विल वर्क टू एक्सपेल द बेबी आउट फ्रॉम द बॉडी. And relaxin hormone, what will it do? it will help to provide flexibility to the pubic symphysis ligament, because you know that the vagina is covered in the pubic area, the pubic muscles, pubic ligaments are there. Pubic symphysis is a ligament which will be it will become somewhat flexible, so that it will easily dilate the pubic area to expel the baby out from the body. So it will help to provide the flexibility to the pubic symphysis ligament so that it will not break. Okay, तो जो रिलैक्सिन हार्मोन है वो प्यूबिक सिम्फिसिस को फ्लेक्सिबल कर देगा, जिससे बेबी जो है वो इजीली एक्सपेल आउट हो सके. Next is its next function is to dilate the cervix during labor pains to give relief from the pain, because you know when the contractions takes place, the labor pain is very vigorous. So to provide relief from that pain, the relaxin will also help. तो ये क्या करेगा, जैसे यूट्राइन कॉन्ट्रैक्शंस होती हैं तो इससे क्या होता है, सर्विक्स जो है उसकी डायलेशन होती है. ठीक है, सर्विक्स की डायलेशन मीन्स जो है सर्विक्स जो है वो डायलेट हो जाता है, फैल जाता है, जिसकी वजह से लेबर पेन बहुत ज्यादा होती है. तो ये क्या करेगा, उस पेन को थोड़ा सा कम करने में हेल्प करेगा ताकि थोड़ा सा रिलीफ मिले, बिकॉज द पेन्स आर वेरी विगरस. ओके, so these are the function of relaxin hormone. Now if we will see the process of parturition, these are the steps in parturition process. First is dilation of cervix. As the labor pain will start due to release of oxytocin, the contractions of the uterine muscle will takes place, and with these contractions the cervix will dilate. Dilates means थोड़ा spread हो जाना, जिसकी वजह से help करेगा बेबी को expel होने में. ठीक है, next part is opening of cervix, because you know the baby has to be expelled out through the vagina, and above the vagina there is cervix. So cervix is also a closed kind of structure, so it has to be opened. So the cervix will be opened. Okay, after the dilation it will open up. Next is release of amniotic fluid, and after opening of cervix, the amniotic membrane, amnion, which was covering the fetus, the fully grown fetus, it will also break off to release the amniotic fluid. That is, a watery secretion will start from the uterus of the mother when the delivery is going to be done. Next is expulsion of baby. When this amniotic fluid or watery fluid will comes out, the uterine contractions become very vigorous, that it will push the baby outside the body through the vagina, and then it will cause this is called the expulsion of the baby, or the delivery of the baby, or the actual parturition act. And the baby will comes out along with the umbilical cord, which is the connection with the uterus. So that cord will be cut down so that the baby can be separated. The next is expulsion of placenta. After expulsion of baby, there is no use of placenta now. As you know, the placenta is a tissue with the blood vessels, with the supply of blood vessels and all. So after expulsion of the baby, the placenta will also come out through the uterus, through the vagina, with the secretion of blood, because it has the blood vessels in it. So it will also break off and will come released out from the uterus. So this is all about the parturition, which is the act of expelling the baby out from the mother's uterus. Now let's see the lactation, which is also a very important part of after the delivery of the baby. So let's now see the lactation. Lactation is the production of milk in the mammary gland after the childbirth. So after the delivery of the child takes place, the parturition act takes place. Then the next act will be lactation. So after the birth of the child, it will start usually within 24 hours under the influence of these hormones. So it usually takes place within 24 hours after the childbirth. So it is under the influence of these two hormones, prolactin and oxytocin. Prolactin is responsible for the secretion of milk in the mammary glands. तो ये जो prolactin है, इसकी वजह से mammary gland में milk secretion start हो जाएगा. Otherwise you know that mammary glands जो है उसकी development puberty के बाद से ही start हो जाती है, ठीक है? But the milk secretion will takes place only after child's birth. Okay? तो जब pregnancy start होती है, then when the childbirth will takes place, then only this hormone will be released by the pituitary gland, which will cause the secretion of milk. and oxytocin hormone will cause the ejection of milk. तो प्रोलैक्टिन की वजह से मिल्क सिक्रीट होता है और ऑक्सीटोसिन की वजह से मिल्क जो है वो मेमरी ग्लैंड से इजेक्ट होता है, ठीक है. एंड इजेक्शन विल बी डन व्हेन the newly born baby will suck the mammary glands, then the breastfeeding will start, then only this hormone will cause the ejection of milk. So the next word is the important term which is called colostrum. Colostrum is what? The first mother's milk just after the child's birth. तो चाइल्ड के बर्थ के बाद जो सबसे पहला मदर का मिल्क इजेक्ट होता है दैट इज कॉल्ड एज कोलोस्ट्रम and it is very very nutritious and doctors always suggest all mothers to feed their baby with a colostrum because it contains many nutrients along with a very important antibody which is called IgA. We will discuss in detail later. IgA is a kind of antibody. When we will study the immune system wala chapter jab hum karenge then I will share. So this colostrum is very important for the newly born baby, so it should be given to them, and it is slightly yellowish in color, and 2-3 days after the maturation the colostrum will come, so the baby should be fed with the colostrum. Now what is the composition of the mother's milk? That it contains a good amount of fat, casein which is a milk protein easily digestible by the newly born baby, lactose, vitamins, so all these nutrients are present in the mother's milk. And what is the importance of this breastfeeding? You know that after childbirth, this breastfeeding is very important by the newly born baby because if it is not done, then the mammary gland has an inhibitory peptide. तो mammary gland के अंदर क्या होता है? एक naturally inhibitory peptide present होता है. अगर child जो है breastfeeding नहीं करेगा, तो क्या होगा? ये inhibitory peptide secretion milk production को stop कर देगा. That can be it can be a dangerous to a mother, okay, because the milk production should be there to nourish the baby, to nourish the newly born baby, so it should be there. The breastfeeding is must. That is why this milk production will be continuous so that the baby can be nurtured, okay. So this is all about lactation, and with this we are finished with this chapter of human reproduction. And then you can go through the question answers, read the question answers and ask me any doubts if you have. Thank you.